This ad is brought to you by Read More Comics, where you can find your finest comic books, graphic novels, and more. This is the tale of Hercules, the mightiest Greek hero of them all. Half human, half god, son of Zeus. After he was born, and Zeus's wife Hera, queen of the gods, was spiteful towards the child. So she decided to send 2 killer snakes out to kill him. But little did she knew, Hercules' immense strength. The baby child grabbed the 2 snakes before they had a chance to strike him down, squeezed the snakes to death, and started playing with them like they were toys. Hera has underestimated the power of Hercules. Even as a baby, he is destined for remarkable things. Then years later, when Hercules reached adulthood, he fell in love, got married to a beautiful woman named Megara, and had 3 children with her. But then, Hera was not finished with Hercules just yet. She cast a spell on Hercules, having him kill his own wife and children. Now filled with grief, Hercules seeked redemption, as he went and see the Oracle of Delphi and his half-brother, Apollo, on what to do about the matter. Apollo, god of the sun, music, and prophecies, tells his half-brother Hercules to complete 12 labors for the person he likes least of all, King Eurystheus, his cousin. Seeing no other options, Hercules went to see his cousin Eurystheus, who is very pleased that his rival is now his servant. And Eurystheus did in fact give Hercules the 12 labors. His first labor is to slay the Nemean lion, a lion with a massive beast with an impenetrable hide, and can kill much faster than an average lion. So Hercules went off to slay said Nemean lion. As he traveled to Nemea, Hercules spent an entire year trying to find the massive beast, which he does. Hercules then caught the beast cornered in a cave. The beast lunged at him, but Hercules knew that no weapon can penetrate his hide. So Hercules decided to grab it by the neck and started using his super strength to strangle the beast to death. And then the Nemean lion roared no more. Hercules then returned to Eurystheus with the skinned hide of the Nemean lion, thanks to a part of his help with his half-sister Artemis, by using his claws to skin him alive. And then Hercules was given his next labor. Eurystheus was shocked as he see his cousin was successful in his task, and even kept the pelt as his trophy. But then Eurystheus gave him his next labor, to slay the Leontian Hydra, a snake-like creature with multiple heads, and if one head's cut off, 2 more will take its place. It's practically unkillable, but Hercules was up to the challenge, so he traveled to the swamp where the beast lies in, and Hercules started to chop off each head. But then Hercules realized that it was impossible for him to do. But then he lit up a torch and started burning the head piece before it was able to grow back. So one by one the heads chopped off, and the Hydra was no more. And yet another labor completed by Hercules, and Eurystheus was once again shocked by his cousin's finesse and completed another labor of his, but his labor were far from done. Then, with the help of Hera, Eurystheus came up with another labor, to capture the Leontian hide, a deer-like creature with golden antlers, and it's ironically a female deer. But Hercules was sent to capture it, but it's not easy as it looks, as the deer can outrun a speeding arrow. But Hercules was able to capture it, but in doing so, he almost invoked the wrath of Artemis, goddess of the hunt, for the deer belongs to her. But Hercules gave her his word that he would release the deer as soon as he completed his labor, to which he had once he returned her to Eurystheus and dropped the deer and set it free. Eurystheus was outraged and getting frustrated at Hercules completing his labors. So he came with another. So he had Hercules go capture the Erythrian boar, a giant pig that's impossible to capture. But with the helpful advice of Hercules' old friend and mentor, Chiron, the centaur and trainer of heroes, Hercules was able to subdue the beast and return him to Eurystheus, much to his surprise. But his labors are far from over. Hercules' next labor was to clean the stables of King Augeas, but he must do it in one day. At first, Hercules thought it was impossible to do so, considering how big of a mess the stables were. But then, the hero got an idea. He could reroute the water that's nearby the river and route it to the stables, cleaning it all up. And one day too, Hercules once again completed yet another labor. Hercules' next labor was to slay the Athenian birds, a flock of killer birds that can eat flesh in a matter of minutes. But then Hercules went there, and with the help of Athena, he was able to get the birds out from hiding and started shooting arrows, killing them all. And the arrows were tipped by the poisonous blood of the Hydra that he defeated earlier. And it was at ease that Hercules once again completed another labor. Hercules' next labor was to capture the Cretan bull, a massive bull creature that lives in Crete, and with horns that sharp enough to pierce through skin and into a heart. A bull was charging at Hercules, but he stopped him with his bare hands and wrestled it to submission, and he captured the massive bullbine. Then Hercules' next labor is to capture the flesh-eating mares of Diomedes. First, Hercules had to deal with the Mad King himself, so by throwing him to the horses that he bred to eat the flesh of its guests. Diomedes got a taste of his own medicine. Hercules was once again successful in another labor. Hercules' next labor involved dealing with the Amazons, Hippolyta, for Hercules is sent to get one of the Amazons built. But, in order to do so, he must defeat the Amazons in combat, to which he did, begrudgingly, considering he does not like fighting women. But, nonetheless, Hercules was successful. Both Eurystheus and Hera were getting more and more frustrated, but they were confident that the final three labors were impossible even for Hercules to complete. His 10th labor is to get the giant red herd of bulls away from Geryon, a giant with 3 heads and 3 bodies. Hercules journeyed there and defeated the three-headed giant by spearing it with one of the poisonous arrows that he got from the Hydra. Hercules' 11th labor is to find the golden apples of Hesperity, and he journeyed far and wide there. Then his journey stopped there as he found Prometheus, a titan who was imprisoned by Zeus for disobeying him, but Hercules set him free. Then Prometheus is grateful, told him that he knows a creature that could help him find the golden apples. A creature, an old man of the sea, perhaps, per se. Hercules was able to find the old man, but he was warned that he was a shapeshifter. So if Hercules wants the information he needs to hold on tight no matter what. Hercules was successful, and the old man told him the location of the golden apples of Hesperity, to which Hercules had founded. Hercules found the location, but he noticed there was a giant dragon called Landon guarding the golden apples, and also 2 beautiful women that guarded it too. And Hercules knew it would be impossible. 1, he just wanted to fight women again, and 2, the giant creature may be impossible for him to defeat. So, Hercules did saw something else nearby. It was none other than another titan, namely the titan Atlas. Much like Prometheus, Atlas too was punished, only his punishment was to hold the sky for eternity. But Hercules bargained with Atlas, as he knows that Atlas is the father of the 2 women down guarding the apples. So Hercules made a bargain with Atlas that he will retrieve the apples while Hercules carried the skies for him for just a few moments. But Hercules knew he can't be trusted. But he bargained with him anyway. So Atlas get the apples and came back and offered to take the apples to the King Eurystheus himself. But Hercules, clever enough, tricked him into holding the skies, and he retreated back to Eurystheus, who was once again surprised at Hercules' finesse and his accomplishments. But he was not finished yet. He has one more labor to complete in order to get his freedom. Hercules must travel to the depths of the underworld and capture the demon dog, Cerberus. But before Hercules can do that, he must get there first. And that's where he got the help from his half-siblings, Hermes and Athena, goddess of wisdom and the god of messages. They traveled to the underworld, and there he met his uncle, Hades. He bargained with the Lord of the Dead. If he can subdue Cerberus with his bare hands, he can take him to the surface world. And Hercules did so just that. He then returned to Eurystheus victorious. Then Hercules was now free, and he was bothered by Hera no more. For Zeus forbade her to bother Hercules no more. Now Hercules is finally free of his grief and his guilt. Hercules is now a new man, and he later become a Greek god himself. And that was the story of Hercules.
Farewell, friends. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to check us out on Patreon, Facebook, DeviantArt, Twitter, fanfiction.net, Reddit, and Casting Call Club.